we're coming off the very scary leg injury, but I think the most important question that we need to get out of the way, what is it going to take for you to forgive Ray Longo for going to the bar instead of visiting you in the hospital?
Oh, I like how you know about that. The guy, you would think the head coach would want to go to the hospital with him, with this guy to make sure he's okay. Longo wanted nothing to do with it. Wonder Boy and Tom Lane, the other guys who were cornering, they're like, Longo, are you going to go with him into the ambulance? He's like, absolutely not. No fucking way. And next thing I know, he disappeared to the bars and was hanging out, having a good old jolly time while I was screaming in pain, screaming, Longo, help me. He was nowhere to be found. So no, he'll never be forgiven for that. Another funny story with Longo is after the fight, for about 2 months, I thought he never called me. And I was started telling people, I'm like, I'm fucking pretty upset. Longo never called me. Come to find out, I was so drugged up. He had called me. We spoke. We had like a long conversation, but I completely forgot everything because I was just so drugged up. That's another little funny story that happened after the leg break.
I'm glad we can find the humor of it.
Yeah.
You're training a lot in South Carolina these days, or you're based out of there now. I am curious, like during that rehabilitation process, was there any support you remember receiving from Matt Serra or Ray Longo during that time? Because obviously, that's a uniquely traumatizing thing to go through.
Oh yeah, I mean these guys, they're like family to me. So of course they have my back. I mean, there's nothing they can really do, for me, but they're there for me. I know they're always a phone call away. Anything I need, they're gonna do. They're just good people, and I would do the same thing for them. We're just close friends, and we will be close friends for the rest of our lives. So that's yeah, they're always gonna have my back at the end of the day, even though we're gonna ball bust each other all day long.
What's and that's really sort of the theme I've come to notice across talking to Ray, to Ally Quinta, to you and other members of the camp, over these past 2 years that I've been in this industry is like a lot of people want to say we're like family, but I feel like there's a particularly close-knit nature to the people that work on that, have come up under that Serra-Longo program. Is there something you can identify that has helped sort of create this sort of like family community atmosphere in their gyms?
Well, one, we're all from there. We're actually all locally from there. It's not like we got recruited in and this is such an amazing gym and we want to go train there. This is where we started. And so when you all kind of grew up around each other, you just know what town what town the guy's from, what kind of person he is right away. Like there's just certain things about certain people immediately just from where they're from, just stereotypes that you drop right in on. And we're just all tough dudes that have each other's back, and we're not going to hate on each other. Even the other gyms on Long Island, we all have each other's back. When you got Chris Wade fighting out of Long Island MMA, yeah, Ryan LaFleur always fighting, and guys fighting out of Belmore Kickboxing. We always were rooting for them, because they're Long Island guys, and even if they're not training at our gym, we're always going to be supportive. And you don't need that bad juju, that's definitely a rare thing. Most gyms are always, especially if they're in close proximity, they're going to kind of hate on each other. We made sure not to let that happen. Yeah, I don't know. We all grew up around each other, all stayed with each other, been through thick and thin. It all starts really, with Ray and Matt, just Matt being the guy who actually became a world champion, the first one from Long Island. He was the mentor. He was the guy that you could look to and say, wow, a guy from our area was able to become a world champion. That means it's possible for me to do that. And then that's just like the feel you get. So it just elevates everybody's game immediately. Ray Longo just brings a family type environment. Like he's not in it for neither one of these guys are in it for the money. Longo he's just a pure coach, never fought. He is not in it for the money. He just cares about the fighters, and he's not going to spend time with just anybody. He's going to spend time with people he actually likes, and spend time, and then he's going to give everything he has for that kid and make sure he fulfills his potential. And when you have a guy like that by your side that is going to have your back no matter what, and also he believes in you, and he's already brought people to the top, it just gives everybody confidence around the gym that we're the best in the world.
Who is the bigger Long Island stereotype, Ray Longo or Matt Serra?
Oh wow. Oh man. I'll say Matt is a one of a kind. Matt is a one of a kind. There's not one person on Long Island that is like Matt Serra. Longo's not gonna like it like this, but there's tons of Guidos like Ray Longo. There's tons of dudes walking around with their shirts unbuttoned and that super tan chest hair popping out with a gold chain seeping out. Super tan, nice hair. There's a lot of that. Like Lou Neglia is another one, kind of similar to Longo. Like he has competition. I don't know if there's. I've never met anybody in my life like Matt Serra. Being on Long Island my whole life, there's no Matt Serra in the world.
I will make sure to clip
Yeah.
this bit the next time I talk to Ray. I always need fresh ammunition with that guy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, please clip this. I want this going viral.
I love it.
I want him tagged.
You mentioned sort of Matt Serra's rise and the kind of confidence that instills in the rest of the camp. Like, I don't know if this is fair, but I almost sort of perceive Serra-Longo as like the camp that breeds these underdogs to world champions. I mean, Matt Serra, enormous underdog against GSP. You, it was the odds I was looking at relatively close, but you were an underdog in the first and second Anderson Silva fight, despite beating him. Aljamain Sterling, a relatively modest underdog against Piotr Jan. I know that's something that motivates Ray. Does that all at all kind of go and fuel the people in your camp to sort of prove these bigger gyms, these bigger entities, and these giants of the sport like GSP and Anderson Silva wrong?
Yeah, I think we love the underdog. I think we love being the underdogs. What was that?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I went on a rant there.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, I think we love being the underdogs. That's something that we really thrive in. I think we all kind of coming from a small gym. That's kind of what's expected, and we love to prove people wrong. So anytime we get to be an underdog, that's fun. And yeah.
What would you say is the single most important philosophy or principle about MMA that you've adopted from Matt and Ray over the years? Professionally or personally, whatever, man. I'm not here to tell you what you do.
Like it's important to keep everything fun. But at the end of the day, when you're in that gym, you better work your ass off. Like as much as we seem like ball busters and I'll make fun of Longo and Matt or whatever, I actually won't make fun of Matt. Let's put that out there. You could cut that bit. I'm terrified of Matt. Matt scares the shit out of me. I never want any confrontation with Matt. Matt knows this. He's the quickest witted dude I've ever met in my life. No drama with him. Longo, but we all have to bust Longo's balls. But as much as we all bust balls and we have a good time, when we get into that gym, we work harder than anybody. You know, we just outwork everybody. It's the slogan inside the gym was always in Longo's gym before I even took over. It was train hard to go home. And that's kind of what that's not a moneymaker slogan. That's not going to draw in crowds of people. That's going to take there's going to be a select few people who make it through with a slogan like that. And that's why everyone who has stuck around has rose to the top.
My favorite is inside the cage there. It says, you don't need to be crazy to enter, but it sure helps. And I've been a fan of that one ever since I saw it.
Yeah, I like that too. That's a newer one. I'll take it. I bet Jenny and Adele put that there.
You know, Ray, shout out to the sweet doggy in the background. Ray was telling me that when you guys linked up recently, because Ray admits like he's a little nervous naturally about your comeback. He cares about you, I'm sure. As a close friend, that must have been a hard thing for him to witness. He says that you've got no shortage of confidence with kicking things. That you're like a cyborg at this point. Do you remember during the training and rehabilitation process at what moment you like found the confidence of like I can throw this thing and I'm not going to hesitate when it comes to utilizing all of my weapons?
Well, it was like day one. As soon as I was limping inside the gym, I knew the one thing I was going to be afraid to do was kick. So I just made sure I kicked. I started with the heavy bag, start kicking that thing a little harder. And then the next thing I know it, I'm play sparring with people I trust, the people I know aren't going to check me, and I'm throwing leg kicks at them. Nice and light, just feeling it out. And it's been a long 2 years of recovering and getting to the point where like I'll kick right through someone's leg right now. Like I don't give a crap.
Last thing on this before we wrap up. Can you tell me a little bit about like what the physiotherapy process has been like? Anything stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, we've had 4 surgeries, infections, in and out of hospitals, tons of ups and downs, hopes, and then hopes just crashing down. And so it was just lots of ups and downs, and just a lot of focusing on each day, and just winning each day, as opposed to like, all right, well, I need to get into a fight, like, and being upset that I'm not there yet. Like, I just kind of put that all out. I couldn't control it. And every day I just tried to get my leg a little bit stronger, a little bit more healthy, and here we are.
Um, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. It honestly just came up to me now. I feel like I remember a quote about when you suffered, and I'm sorry for talking about the injury so much. I know you're gonna get them.
No, I don't care. I don't care, brother. No, I'm good.
Appreciate it, man. What's the doggy's name out of curiosity?
I got 2 dogs in here right now, Chase and Mason.
Shout out to Jason Mason. I like a good rhyming name.
Thank you.
You mentioned I feel like I remember a quote where you kind of talked about like a sudden fear of like, am I ever going to be able to like play with my kids again? And
Oh yeah, yeah.
has this recovery process given you any new insight into sort of your life and your relationship with your family and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. Well, it definitely helped me put things in perspective, and help me realize what's most important in life, and that's your family, family and close friends. My family was there, who that they supported me the whole time. They're always around, and it kind of gave me a glimpse into what life will be like after fighting. Who's going to be around? Because going from a world champion, losing some fights, then breaking your leg in half, you get to see who the real ones are. And so it definitely was been helpful to see that, and so there's a lot of blessings in disguise, and to be able to come back and feel as good as I feel right now, I feel like I'm in my prime. And I'm ready to prove that, and people think I'm just coming back for like a paycheck, or to just see how I do, just see how it feels. I'm coming back to take over this whole damn thing. So it's very exciting for me.
The headspace has always been there, man. I know that to be true. Last thing before I let you go here, because again, I love my ammunition. Just with the Serra-Longo. I don't like to do this with everyone, but I love these guys so much. Ray's been so nice to me. Can you give me, without getting anyone in trouble, your craziest Matt Serra or Ray Longo story, or the funniest one, or the one that's going to bug them the most? Maybe
The one that's going to bother them the most.
I don't want Matt being.
I mean, how about this? Ask Longo, who shoveled ask him if he's ever shoveled his driveway before with the snow. This guy will have girls out there shoveling the snow instead of him doing it. He doesn't drive anywhere on his own. He always has somebody driving him somewhere. He gets chauffeured everywhere. And when he does drive, he drives super slow. He's like an old lady. When he says he's on the way to the gym and he says he's on Jericho Turnpike, that means he's about 45 minutes away. He's still in his house taking a dump. He's always late. So, yeah, I guess those are funny things with him. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, Ray's one of a kind. I just absolutely love the guy. You know, interestingly enough, unfortunately enough, the first fight I ever watched with my now wife was Chris Weidman versus Anderson Silva too. I don't think she ever wanted to watch a fight again after that. The
Oh, yeah,
fight,
sorry about that.
no, it's not, it happens. But the fight, I had already been watching, but the fight that turned me into an MMA fan, the first time I ever got up off my feet and started yelling in the house, to the point where my dad's like, "What is happening?" was when you knocked out Anderson Silva to win that title. So thank you for setting me on
Yeah.
this path.
Yeah, no problem. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, I appreciate your time.
Gave me the chills. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I want to leave you with the last words. So I'll do my part very quickly. Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. Please check out the full feature at cbssports.com. Ray Longo, Ally Quinta, Chris Weidman. Hopefully Matt Serra, if we can get that grumpy man to do it. We'll try and figure it out. Please subscribe to the channel, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Let us know what's your official prediction for Weidman versus Tavares that takes place at UFC 292 on Saturday. Plus, what's the fight that really made you a fan of MMA? Chris, if there's anything you want to let the people know, you've been so gracious with your time. The floor is yours, my guy.
No, I appreciate the support. And make sure you're cheering for the Serra-Longo guys. We're going to make things happen.